For the last 2 weeks and 200 miles, I have been hiking north along the Arizona Trail. Unfortunately, with this year's record snows, it was becoming increasingly apparent that I was not going to be able to make it end to end within the time frame I had. I started looking at other options to delay, get some extra miles while I waited for maybe the snow to melt, and the situation just was feeling worse and worse. So, after looking at the options, my girlfriend came out for her spring break, and we made the decision to jump over to the Grand Enchantment Trail. So basically, since the north end of the AZT doesn't look like it's going to be a go for a while, the options are fly out east, fly to Arkansas, try and do the Grand Enchantment. Grand Enchantment will get me to Albuquerque, and then I can have my parents come grab me, so that might work for us. It's 770 miles though, and we're scrambling to figure out if it's a go or not. So we are out of the hotel and sitting on the side of the road outside Oracle because Oracle has horrible cell towers, but this is better. We think we have a plan where we're going to leave a car in Oracle, we're going to take a taxi out to Phoenix, jump on the start of the Grand Enchantment Trail at First Water, and Jen's going to hike back with me. We'll cross south on the AZT for a while, and we should end up in Mammoth by next Friday, at which point we'll get a shuttle ride back down here, get her car, and I'll continue on the Grand Enchantment is kind of our plan at this point.
But like sometimes I'll get like deep in thought about an anime and I'm like, yo, this is really fucked up.
The Grand Enchantment Trail starts at the First Water Trailhead, northeast of Phoenix. And unfortunately, our cab driver friend wasn't overly happy with the bumpy dirt road to get to the last part. So we are here at First Water Trailhead in the Superstitions. We just had a taxi drive us for like 2 hours to get out here, and all we have to do is walk from here to Albuquerque. So we are basically northeast of Phoenix at the edge of the Superstitions, best known for Weaver's Needle, an awesome climb. That's why I know it anyway. And this is the start of the Grand Enchantment Trail right here. No signs, of course, because this is just some route somebody put together. 770 miles, and apparently if you go that way, I think Albuquerque. And Taters doesn't care because she's just happy about her new shirt.
I'm so excited.
You should have seen the disapproval.
Cool that they made a print for this.
So I showed her this and she's like, no, we don't need any. It's cute. It's cute. So remember, folks, consumerism is only bad if it's not cute. And a mere 2 weeks after our first movie called Taters at the Mexican Border starting the AZT, we have Taters starting the Grand Enchantment Trail. Stay tuned in another 2 weeks, because who knows where Taters is going.
I'm supposed to go back home, but you are going on to Albuquerque.
Ooh. I love that peak. So I have heard from people going north on the AZT that they're running into a good amount of Grand Enchantment hikers. We'll see how many are going the entire way. But I would expect many less through hikers, though. Per that register back there, there are a whole heck of a lot of people day hiking and weekend backpacking here.
So I hear that and it makes me think like,
Okay, so obviously this is a trail proposal. It's not something that is on far out. So we don't have waypoints for campsites or water or anything. So
there's no gut hook Commons.
There's no gut hook. Yeah, there's no far out, no gut hook. There is a water guide that was put together by the guy that proposed the trail, but it's one of those that's across various years. So okay, in 2018 there was water in this canyon. Now I'm not that worried just because it's been a wet year so far, but now I'm going to have to switch back to like on the Condor carrying more water than I would on something like the AZT where I know that, oh, there's going to be water in 4 miles.
We're probably in pretty good shape though because they're rated on a reliability scale from 1 to 4. This one I think is a 1 or a 2. All the ones in the first 5 miles were a 1 or a 2, and we have a whole flowing river.
It was nice to be able to relax and just kind of have a very straightforward hike for 2 weeks before I now come over here, and now it's all stress. Got to make Albuquerque by the end of May. And Taters is happy because we're already hearing mountain sheep. I think the Grand Enchantment Trail is already worth it for her.
Can you see him?
Yeah, the one in the back is kind of winding his way. They're easier to see when they're moving.
It feels like more than just a class. It feels like there's a community.
7 o'clock and it is so pleasantly warm out here. Part of me wants to just hike for hours at this time of day. This is the part of the day I like, but it is going to get dark within a half hour. So we're getting our night water and then going to set up in the first campsite.
we are going to have to push a little bigger days, but today's kind of our bonus day.
So this time last night, I thought I would be setting up camp on the Arizona Trail. Instead, we are about 4 miles or so into the Grand Enchantment Trail. But we're just rolling with it, and it sure is enchanting. Gorgeous scenery. And staring over at Weaver's Needle, which is one of the first big trips I did with Matt, so that's been really happy. And we've got sheep, we've got frogs, we've got flowing creeks, and we got a nice little happy camp. Home sweet home for the night.
So, Jen, can you give me some ultralight backpacking pointers?
Okay, I don't like the small fuel cans.
Obviously.
Because the last like 10% is really frustrating. It burns really slowly. To carry this much fuel anyway for 8 days.
Maybe you do. Jeez. I have a canister too. Apparently I need taters to come more often because not only do we have wine tonight, not only do we have fresh veggies and things, yes, that is a glass pesto container. There's wine for tomorrow night.
Yes.
And then she's going to leave and I'm going to be eating rice and beans and Northsides for another like 8 weeks with no recourse.